So is it on YouTube?
I sent the link to your yeah. Waiting. Messenger, the messenger. The messenger.
The verdict is in on Trump.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yes. So waiting on, I had to come in, y'all. Come in, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Wow. It's my day off. I love my day off. Good morning, people. Yeah. Good morning. Let me see. They say I don't be loud enough sometimes. So let me turn my mic up a little bit. Turn the mic levels up a little bit. Good morning, Williams, GG, Jay Jackson, Jason, Trumpet man, Nora. Man, since with everything going on, I'm gonna play this song. America. Status of the country and it's a sad thing. It's crazy. YouTube. It's looked at as yes, indeed. It's the land of the free, the land where Martin Luther King had a dream, but cash out flowers. Mothers depending on pantries, families depending on pantries, the education system that is failing shots. Broken environment in America. It's crazy. Even revolutionaries. I don't even understand what it means. Indeed, everybody, good morning. Oh, man, anybody like that song? I like that song. I love it. I'm gonna let it play that. I got Rizza X on the Instagram. I got Hannity on the radio so that they can turn into blanket. Martin Luther King didn't die for this. Malcolm X nor Kennedy. They told us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps when they set us free. Now the border is open. Man, we gotta be joking. I know some people that's already open and millions of families already broken. Already solving the mothers that have to depend on the parents. The fathers that don't got a job, so they got to hustle to keep their insanity. You should have told us the plan was get them more comfortable out of the hood with. Instead of American bands, American dreams, and not what we should think. Again, the border is open and migrants your housing so they get in front of you. If you just been hoping and patient, but waiting and praying that you can speak point of view, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna sell out the nation to get some new voters. Millions of people strategically placed and patiently waiting for orders. It could be our sons and our daughters is paying the prices because we in the feelings. If you play a Christian and turn to a cricket, then you should just keep disappearing. The end again. Yeah. 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 I used to sing in the choir. I did. What happened to America, man? What's going on? It's like my favorite little song. What's really going on is I know a lot of people. I'm just keeping it solid. If you really don't have a lot to do right now and you might just happen to be a day off, or you could be riding in the car or possibly listening to a radio station or two, checking the news, people are definitely wondering what's going to happen with this trial. I mean, you can actually make a bet on, I'm not even being funny. You can make a legal bet right now about this verdict in New York City. That's crazy. I'm a gambler. I bet a lot. So I'm telling you, that's the real deal. You can watch videos of me with a megaphone in my hand, doing a lot of things, complaining, fighting for our rights, marching in front of the White House. Yeah, you could find me doing a lot of that. So trust me. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at some videos of myself 10 years ago at the RNC convention in Tampa, Florida, uh, speaking against Mitt Romney and speaking against actually Republicans, and definitely also not supporting Obama as well. And then I look at now, I was like, wow, look at this. 10 years ago, I was standing up at the RNC convention speaking out against uh, the Republicans coming to Tampa and trying to pitch this thing. And now look at how times have changed. They changed so dramatically. It's like Republicans save America. At least get it back to a point where, oh my gosh. So anyway, they have a trial in New York City where former president is actually going to court every day. I mean, this don't even happen. This like happens in other countries. And so, I don't know what to say about it really, so I'm talking. Anybody can join me. I'm live. We all alive. Thank God for another day. Thank God for another day. Thank God that you're not in a situation where somebody is trying to control your life based on something you believe. In actuality, they are. So we can sit down and isolate this and say it's all Trump going through this, but it's not. The message passed today is very, 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 it's a strong message. It's detrimental to the path going forward. What they say today in that courtroom is just a template. If we can do it to a former president, how we let it get this far? How did we let it go this far? Anybody speak back to me? Subscribe, press the like button. I understand that that's important these days. I'm learning that, but I appreciate it, and we just trying to figure out as a people, because as a black man, and I put the color into it for a second for one reason. As a black man who has understood that America has not always been great to us, and that we have had to come and fight a long way and had to get over all of these barriers, this and that, mountains, we had to go through a lot, fight a lot, and overcame a lot. That's why we're strong. And I don't say that as a man, I say that as a people at that point. And it's like, as that guy in America realizing the things that we've had to fight through, it's still hard to really see the place where we were able to do these things. This is still that country. My revolutionary people, don't get it twisted. Don't listen to the bonehead people telling you, forget that. Watch America fall. No, that is the way we have been able to fight. That is the way we have been able to speak. That is the way we have been able to actually overturn Ruby Bridges. We know what happened to Martin. We know what happened to Malcolm. We know what happened to a lot of revolutionaries. But in 2024, we have people like Rizza Islam X. We have people like Dr. Umar Johnson. We have plenty of people who are still able to speak to power. And I don't know what them brothers doing. I know some of them brothers mean well. And all I'm saying is we still have people who are able to speak. And the Democrats are effectively saying, if you're still making this about Donald Trump and Joe Biden, we missing the beat. The Democrats are telling everybody, we are going to control your words. We are going to control the path. We are going to give power. I just saw like 400,000 acres of American agricultural farmland has been sold to China. I don't know how many acres are in America. Anybody want to tell me? How did we let it get this far? Honey Moore. Great question. How did we let it get this far? 45 should have been stopped years ago. Hey, Yeah. I don't really understand. Let me see. Okay, so Honey said that 45 should have been stopped years ago. Let's see. Aha, unique.
Hey.
Hey. So Honey said 45 should have been stopped years ago. And I'm not really following that. So he is in court, he is in trial. But let's look at what she's saying. And in regards to that, honey, what part of that do you mean? Tremel, what's up, Tremel? I see you, Crown. What's up, Chief? Thank you, brother. And so honey is that dang. See, look, I'm gonna tell you something. For people like Tremel, for the babies of the world, I gotta. Could you mute your mic just for? Wow, I'm talking about you looking wide awoke. That's right. For the kids of the world. All right. So, but somebody just said. Somebody just said. Let me get back to Honey. Honey said um that Trump should have been stopped long time ago, and I really don't understand what stance she's coming from with it. If she's coming from the stance from the trial in regards to the trial, but we all know that's a sham trial. Yeah, it was some. They had some, and I'm not here to try to explain none of that. Well, I'm not even here to try to explain that or this. We're talking about what the Democrats are doing versus the Republicans. Every time there is something mentioned about the direction of the country right now, Trump is your president. Get over it, hater. Oh, okay. Well, Trump is your president. Get over it, hater. I don't know who he talking to either. I know that people start talking to each other in the feed sometimes, but let's talk about Joe Biden and his daughter's diary. Since you're talking about Trump and what Trump is doing or how Trump should have been stopped. The diary of Joe Biden's daughter has been confirmed. And so they said everything this has been like confirmed. It was not confirmed up to a year ago, but now it has been one new message. Okay, finally someone's saying it. That's right, my brother. I gotta try to speak truth to power, man. Thank you. And so the journal or the diary, I like to call it a diary. And we know what people do with diaries. They keep their closest secrets. They tell things to diaries they don't tell to friends. As a matter of fact, the diary is your best friend. Um, Let me see. Okay, and so the diary is. I hear you, Tremel. Get it? The diary is your best friend, and so you have people speaking to their diary. That stuff has been confirmed. Any woman mad at Trump about having sex with a porn star legally, then you're missing something. Yeah, you're missing something. Um, his daughter has said she, his daughter has said she has taken baths with her father, and then she said that was probably inappropriate. She said how she was sexualized all of the time as a young girl. This stuff is confirmed. So how are the Trump haters, or how are the people that like to talk about Trump being this or that, how can they say that about Trump and still support Joe Biden as this great guy? We also know that Hunter Biden called Joe Biden a pedophile, a pedo Pete. And so if your son is calling you pedo Pete, your daughter has a journal talking about being sexualized as a baby. And by the way, I don't think it's Joe Biden's real daughter. I think it's Jill Biden's daughter. All right. And so let me see something. Let me see some comments. Uh, Oh wow. Somebody said I'm using right wing lies. Her mic's been muted. Her mic's been muted. A baby feeding. We should love that actually. Uh, but yeah, that's good. You don't have to support either. Right wing lies. Well, I mean, you can say what you want to say, but the daughter wrote it. I didn't write it. And the only reason why this is actually the first time, as you heard someone else say, finally someone saying it. So that's the person who has been waiting to hear that in the news because they know what the real media, and when I say the real media, I don't mean the news, they know what the real truth is. You can see this stuff, you can actually look it up once you get past the Google and the algorithms, what they want you to see. So you can actually look up the truth in the journal. And I don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. So, but I am saying for anybody calling Trump bad or Trump a problem or saying something wrong or disingenuous or nasty or this and that about Trump having sex with the actual porn star, with the actual grown woman, you know, uh, whether it was, whatever, and paying her off, which I understand is not illegal. Look, I'm a person that has done lawsuits. I've sued my job. And I know what it is to come to a non-disclosed agreement. So all of this time, I didn't even understand or realize that I've been getting paid hush money. Basically, that's what it is. But everybody has to sign them. I've gotten hush money over 8 times from different jobs and governments, and not governments, but different jobs or insurance companies that support these jobs. And so I'm just trying to say that I do understand. Thank you, James. I do understand what a non-disclosed agreement means. By the way, I also want to say this. It doesn't make me a Trump fan to acknowledge the truth as a guy that has did 10 years in prison, and so sometimes we get it taken advantage of when we get out of prison, and we run into all of these different rules and laws that don't apply to other people, and they apply to us somehow because we're not supposed to get hired, and if you get fired here, you won't get hired anywhere else, and this and that, and so people like myself. If you understand the law and if you end up having to fight for yourself, I've had to sue these jobs. I've always won. I've always reached out to help other people that they can stand up and you don't have to sit home and just be fired for no reason. And so I've helped other people cross the line. Why am I saying that? I'm only saying that to say I understand that when I sued such and such, this company or this entity, that did not make the owner racist. That made a bonehead manager dumb or unacknowledged. He didn't acknowledge or know all of the rules of what he or she could do at the time. But did that make the racist? Did that make the company or the owner of that company racist? No. I will argue that down any day. Nobody can say that. And so I just said that we got 10 new messages. Amen. You can relate. You literally said right wing propaganda. Right. Okay. Well, like I said, the best thing about it is you can actually look it up. Who he said looks like his daughter. All right. Yeah. And so, right now, the facts are I'm talking about my own life. And so I think I know the facts of my life better than anybody. And so, I know as a person who has had to sign non-disclosed agreements before, as what we call hush money, or what they have so wow. This guy just said I literally said a lie about Hunter. Wow, we got somebody actually standing up for Hunter. Well, you know what? There's something called investigations going on, and there's something called the laptop that was proven to be real after they lied to America saying it was fake to help Joe Biden win the election. So now that it is proven to be real, there are a lot of things, a lot of text message and information in that laptop that has come out, which is why Hunter Biden is going to court like right now. Like as of probably the same time as Trump. And so you can be misinformed on the facts, or you can actually try to learn something yourself. Yeah, he probably already did. Listen, I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm not saying he did or didn't. Um, Somebody said, good thing evidence is not a lie. That's right, man. I'm not saying whether he won or not. I mean, when your father is the president, you can win a lot of cases. I mean, it is, thank you, Sir Kerm, 717. When your father is the president and it is, I mean, come on. That's the whole thing about it. How can anybody actually be American and love what's going on? I mean, all you have to do is read anybody look at my profile, they'll understand. They will learn one thing about this guy. They'll say, wow, this guy had a total different message 8 years ago. When Barack Obama was president, this guy was speaking against the Democrats. When Bush was president, this guy was speaking against the Republicans. I have just been a black man realizing what America has done to us and trying to do the best to help progression in black America. And so I have understood that the government has not been our friends. But when you see it go as far as it has gone, you have to start saying, wait a minute, this is bigger than me. My daughters and sons are involved. This has something to do with them. So for people who think I'm just some Democrat hack or Republican hack, you got it totally twisted. And all you would have to do is probably know a little bit more about me. And yeah, I do live in the South. I definitely live in the South. And so yeah, there's a lot of information out. And thank you. And you know what? Let me see who told me to keep speaking truth. I appreciate that. That's part of my problem. I kind of forget that some people actually come on to just do what they're doing, and to get you off your talking base or wherever you're trying to go with it. And well, I got to stop doing that. But I do wanna actually, feed the conversation. And so what I actually realized when we see what's going on in Georgia, New York, I realized when you look at what's going on in Georgia, where a real case is being taken place, I really need to know what is wrong with my people in Georgia. Good morning, brother. I mean, in Georgia, that's Travis. Travis Cohen. Good morning, brother. That's right. Um, in Georgia, you have this lady, this prosecutor, also who happens to be prosecuting Trump. The sad thing about this is when a lot of people are not going to like it because they're going to think it's a Democratic statement, but it's not. It's a Democrat statement or a Republican statement. It's not. Or it's not an attack on Democrats. People are going to look back on this, and I don't care what color you are, and they're going to realize. I just saw, if anybody got a minute, you look up the Democratic debate between this, I think his name, Allen West and Barack Obama in 2004. It was crazy. I'm going to be honest. I just saw a feed and I pushed it because I wanted to watch it. And this guy, I think his name was Allen West, it was another black man, was debating Barack. And he was letting the world know then. I think people sharing it now because they realize that we all knew Barack opened the doors. We all know that. Don't ask, don't tell. We all know that he opened the doors. But even in 2004, I'm watching a debate between these two. Trump doesn't have to like me. That's the problem. I think that's one of the most ignorant statements ever. For somebody to think Trump has to like you for you to actually want your children to have an actual fair chance. Yeah, I think let me see. And so Trump doesn't have to like me. And yeah, and so I saw this debate. How you doing, my brother? I saw this debate between Obama and Allen West in 2004. And he was telling the world then, this guy is bringing untraditional marriage into the world, and that is not what we need. This guy is opening doors to this and that. And I was kind of shocked to see it in 2004. You know, so
Hello, brother.
hello, my brother. How you doing?
You want a brother?
Yes, man. How you doing? You doing good?
Good, good.
Yes, sir. Where you from?
From Syria.
That's right, man. That's right. Are you here now?
Yeah.
You from Syria? Okay, man. Peace out to you, man.
Two and one.
Huh?
Want a brother?
Yeah, man. God is good.
Okay, that's good.
When you don't know what else to say, and when you don't know what else to say, always you can just always hit anybody from anywhere with that. All right, 300. Okay, 380,761 missing ballots images in Fulton, California. Oh man. Hey, you, oh my gee whiz. 200,000 ballots with non-matching signatures in Arizona. Check this out. See, that's one of the things I talked about the other day. We got a pretty blazing. All right, and that's one of the things I talked about the other day. Travis, I appreciate that. It's like 26 states. I meant to say, whoa, did I go too high? 26, I meant to say 16 states in America. 16, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 in America requires voter ID with a picture. That is crazy. And I can guarantee you, Georgia, one of those places. Most of these states are red. Most of these states are red. Clear your screen, bro. You know, I don't know how. I actually don't know how, man. Chop 48. Um, yeah, I kind of don't know how, brother. I'm kind of new to this, man. To be honest, like I say, you sit back and you just kind of watch it, watch it, watch it. I mean, as far as the TikTok scene, I would suggest, oh, boom, there it is. How did that happen? Thank you. And so, yeah, man. Um, yeah, I think it's crazy, and when we look at the dynamic and the things that's going on in Georgia, because the vote will be decided in a place like Georgia. And it's amazing. I sat down, I listened to this trial, this Senate hearing, this case with Fonnie Lewis, the other rogue, the other hired uh, prosecutor, the other Alvin Bragg. And I listened to this thing. Now, understand, you can look, I mean, you can actually hear these things on YouTube, live, or even Rumble. I want to give a shout out to the LFR family and also Melanie King bringing the heat. Or even Rumble. You can actually listen to these cases so you don't have to hear people like me speak. You know, you can actually hear the victims or the suspect actually speak for themselves. And so I'm listening to the case. I'm listening to a grant writer who was fired, a whistleblower. The grant writer is writing millions of dollars in grants. Writer, she wrote it. So she understood what could and could not happen. She had worked for the Fulton County DA for several years. Once Fonnie Lewis came in, oh man, first of all, they called her Madam. That is the name they have to address her by. Madam. What kind of power trip is that? Madam? You say stop lying? See, that's what I'm talking about. People wait to be informed. Like I said, you can actually listen to the hearings live. And if you can hear them live, I'm almost positive you can hear it uh, on a playback of some sort. And so you can hear the whistleblower talk about the grants written $2 million for sexual assault victims, underage, not underage minors, but I'm pretty sure that the minors were included in some of this as well. But in this particular grant, 2 million, over $2 million grants written to SA victims between ninth and 12th grade, men and women in Fulton County. This money ended up going out of the state. This money ended up going to programs that was like privately made for private people. citizens with money and power, judges, family members, and nieces, and these kind of people. So money that was, and like I said, you can actually listen to the actual hearing. Money spent on quote unquote swag, new apples, mugs with her faces and name on it, Madam, Fanny Pack, as Melanie King would say. You know, I thought about this. Keep lying, somebody said. That's a true Democrat. And that may be a person in Georgia. And that's what I don't understand. These are black people making the accusations. These are black people willing to go to bat for the people of Fulton County. These are black people bringing these charges. These ain't white people, as y'all want to make them look like. Not everybody, but a few people. And the Democrats are going to help y'all. They're going to, matter of fact, they just had this guy. It's always either this Gail lady, or the Reed lady. You know, when they're disgusting, it's hard to remember their names. But this lady Reed, Joy Reed, and Gail King. It's always one of them. So they've had Fonnie on their shows. They just had this prosecutor Nathan Wade on their show running this guilt trip, and too many people listen to that. But these are black young men and women coming together, and they are standing up for the voters and the residents of Fulton County, and they are saying this DA is taking millions of dollars, and I mean, goodness gracious, if you listen to any of the testimony from them, they told y'all themselves that they are spending. I mean, this lady is getting her back blowed out on the taxpayers' money. Now, I mean, that's cool. I shouldn't even say that part. But what I'm saying is, you are paying for it. You are paying for the trips that you can't even take yourself. You are paying for the trips that you can't send your daughter or son on. You are paying for the luxury back massage in Tahiti or wherever, allegedly, wherever, that you can never get working a hard 9 to 5. And people are not upset about it. That's crazy. Uh, are you writing the art? Okay, okay. I'm gonna assume. All right. And so, yeah, man, it is ironic that we got a sham trial in New York that is taking up all of the media, but slow, but really, really, really quietly, where the votes will matter, where the vote will be made out of a few states. If we all been paying attention, we know that. It's going to be made in a place like Georgia where Obamas and the rappers will come out and make these great statements, and everybody in Georgia will be woke. And when I say woke, I mean the new woke. I mean, wait, actually, let me. It's so crazy because I heard this lady, Sunny Hostin, on The View say, "Well, we know the term woke is something that black people have used for years, so we take that term." No, it hasn't been something we used for years. I want to straighten that right now. That is not something we've been using for years. That's some BS that came out to try to make anybody who was actually woke go to sleep. The term we've been using for years is "you sleep." And all of the people who hollering that they're woke right now, I want to let you know something. You are asleep. That's what the term has been, Sonny Hostin. And so that's why people like Sonny Hostin like to sit on these shows with people that don't know nothing and call themselves giving them our culture, and they butcher it and know nothing. So anyway, it will be in Georgia, a place like that, where the state everywhere around is truly woke. The old school woke. They know what's going on, but it'll be a little place like Fulton County that's packed with black people, where they're gonna concentrate the continuous of dumbed down media, rappers coming to feed them, the great Obama coming in, and everything else. And I think it's a shame. They just voted for the Democrat nominee for the DA, for the district attorney's office. And as they always do, I think one of the first things thing where this lady is taking these young people's money that is actually taken from taxpayers, put aside as a grant, and put aside for a reason. In this case, the highest reason, $2 million, allegedly, was for sexual assault victims. And the camp or the little center program, that's what it's called, a program. Now I want to use the right terminology since I got a troll. So the programs that were supposed to be for the inner city poor people of Fulton County, of Atlanta, definitely was something that was written in the grants. Was this money was not to go outside of Fulton County, definitely not the state. This money ended up in Alabama. So something that the people of Georgia are paying for and or are supporting in a grant is going to other people in enriched little programs for the family members of enriched people and powerful people. If you're not listening, you need to listen and you will find yourself shocked. But more than anything, you'll find yourself angry and upset and disappointed that this keeps happening in areas full of black people. And then we sit down and wonder why we are treated like we are less than intelligent. Joe Biden makes it his business. He has made a swear and allegiance. Let me say that different because they are programming the way we talk now. He has almost said with his actions, with every action, I do not trust black people to vote. So I need to fix this. I need to keep this man busy. I need to make sure I have this trial on lock. How do I have the trial on lock? Look at all of the damn rules this judge has broken. You don't even have to agree. Just come up with something. I mean, what? Whoa. As a man who has faced trial in my life, I thank God that the laws and that the prosecutors or whatever wasn't that low and the judge wasn't that low. He didn't like me. Somebody just told me Trump didn't like me. I know that. The judge didn't like me either. Possibly. But guess what? He understood the rules and the laws of what things should happen. And for that, I am grateful. I am grateful to God for that. So let me say it again. I understood and understand as a man who has faced court. The judge may or may not like me. Chances are he didn't because I am a criminal to him in his face. All right? I understood that. Cost me 10 years of my life in the prison system, penal system. So I understand that. All right? He don't like me, but he understood. And he understood his oath to God as a judge that he had laws to stay within. So for that, I am grateful. However, the judge in New York, as we see, he does not understand. Actually, he does. He understands that he is beholden to a different power right now. So the oath to God is not the power he is beholden to. And being that he's not beholden to that power, we see atrocities. We see, and the fact that Joe Biden has made a speech already. The fact that Travis Cohen, go get him, Travis. This is what Travis doing to that kid. Get him, Travis. Some people are just speaking with too much emotion. And so, you have to take the emotion out of it. And you just have to stick to the facts. I mean, I'll leave it in. Okay. I appreciate that. All right. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Yeah. And so we got to stay in New York. Robert De Niro. I mean, how many people are gonna come out? See, people that actually, yeah, this whole administration the music industry, the movie industry with clowns. Yeah, clowns, real clowns. I used to like this guy. It was funny. I was sitting up saying to myself, I'm like, this looked like the guy from Heat or Casino. It's almost looked like the tough guy from Goodfellas. And I'm like, but he was a much better actor. But that is him. I mean, this is what happens when actors start writing their own scripts. That's why the Great Writers Guild should be successful if it wasn't. Because it's obvious that people like him can't write a script, and it's obvious that he can't do an impromptu script. That was horrible. Shout out to the guy with the horn in the background. Shout out to the guy who understood that you can lean on a couple of cars or maybe just go in and kill your own car battery. I mean, the horn was great. Can can I interview the horn? Can the horn dial in? Can I interview the horn right now? All right, let me check up on some. Let me catch up to some stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. Seems to me is what you say about others. Have that same have that same pen. Trump 24. Put him OMG. Okay, I just caught on to the whole thing. That's right. That's right. I need a battery. I need a battery. My battery died. My battery died because if it was alive, I'd be able to let it tell a couple of people how you know how I say. You know what it say when it says what it says. You know what it say when it say what it says. You're fired. Some of these people need to be fired. Oh wow. And so yeah, man. Um, yeah, I'm looking at Robert De Niro. I'm like, this guy. You know, I mean, you should have heard him. Hey, yeah, we put up with this guy when he was in movies and this and that. I'm listening to it. I'm like, who is we? Somebody look up the net worth of Robert De Niro in the good 80s. In the good 80s. I mean, he got more money than me now. I'm not knocking him. Trust me, I know he has more money than me. Somebody look up Robert De Niro in the good 80s. What was his net worth? This guy is talking about Trump because Trump was a millionaire. We all know this. This guy is talking about how we put up with him. We put up with this guy. Was a 2-bit playboy. We put up with him when he was just put up with him. I'm like, dude, Trump helped build Central Park. Trump helped build the skating rink that was garbage. Trump helped build the skyline of New York. This is not something I made up. This is something they've been trying to tell us for decades before Trump even ran for president. You know, this guy not in Time magazine and this and that. This guy didn't just like come out of nowhere as a sleazebag 2-bit playboy, liar, hustler, 2-bit, and was able to buy the American. They don't. This doesn't happen that way. And it's like America built this guy up, and now they're having a hard time. A hard time. So much of a hard time tearing him down. Stop this guy. Just to make this guy look bad. And I'm like, whoa. This the same guy y'all built up. This the same guy that was like number one for maybe 4, 5, 6, or in the top running. But he was number one for like 4 years on The Apprentice. Number one. And he was number one in a time when TV ratings were real. They didn't have a lot of social media stuff. I'm not saying they didn't have a lot of social media, but they didn't have a lot of streaming, I should say, where you can actually go and get around TV. Thank you, thank you. You had to do your thing. If you was number one when Trump was number one on The Apprentice, you was getting numbers, man. Now you can do streaming and people don't even have to watch. You don't even have to watch TV no more, and you can still watch everything that people watch on TV. And so Trump was number one for years. And I can honestly say to this day, for people that think I like Trump so much, I don't have a problem with him. But I can honestly say to this day, I've never seen The Apprentice one time. You know who made me go and look up Trump? People like some of the people who Travis is getting on in the feed. People like Obama. people like the Democrats, people like CNN, they made me go and look this guy up. I'm like, oh, damn. I've been hearing about him in rap music. What happened? So I started looking, and I looked up Oprah Winfrey. Anybody want to go? Go and look up Oprah right now with Trump. She asked him to run way back then on her television, on her show. Trump was saying the same thing then as he is saying right now. And Barack was nowhere around. There was no black people in power. And Trump was saying on the Oprah Winfrey show, if anybody want to go and watch it, if you want to start getting in the middle and be better informed, go and watch that show. And he went on to say why. He went on to say the same things he said now about China and about other foreign governments that are beating up our dumb politicians. That was like 15 years ago. Maybe, that was 12, 15 years ago. So it's like maybe even older, to be honest. I mean, now that I think about it, since Trump did do 4 years in, and it's been 3 years since Biden, so that would have to been almost 20 years ago at this point. Barack was a and so yeah, that's what makes Trump great. Yeah, man, speak truth to power. Um, and so yeah, when I look at this, and you just look at how many people come out, you know, Dennis Quaid. Anybody down with Dennis Quaid? Dennis Quaid, I'm a Dennis Quaid fan. I mean, it's amazing. In one day, in 2 days, we got a movie started. A lot of people used to love. I thought Heat was one of the best movies ever, but now I can never see Heat the same. Every time I see this guy, I see the same chump. Do anybody know he came out before the speech? See, a lot of people watch sound bites. You got to watch it from the beginning. This clown came out with a mask on his face. Robert De Niro. He literally had a mask on his face. That's when you know they're trying to send some message to all of us. So he started out, came out with a mask, and then took it off when he got around everybody. By the way, did anybody hear what the heckler told the supposed to be heroes? You're not a hero, you're a traitor, and you lied under oath. I thought it was classic. Robert De Niro didn't know how to respond to anything. But here it is, you got Robert De Niro, and then you got the statements from Kathy Hochul, clowns, buffoons, degenerates, you know, and then the Hillary, also Kathy Hochul, with blacks not never hearing of computers or knowing about computers. I mean, these people are telling you, black man, black woman, and some Caucasians, but we know effectively when we look at the little tour that they're doing right now, they are telling you that you are less than intelligent. We don't trust you to vote. You didn't listen to us before. It was a little too close. We don't like the way Trump came out to win. And if you saw the numbers that Travis put up earlier, those numbers are accurate. All right? You can put your hand over your eyes all you want, but we know it was a lot of cheating in Georgia and in another state, other states. I also spoke about something toward what Travis was saying about how many states, about how many extra votes, illegal votes or whatever. You have 16 states that vote with a picture ID, and you have 11 that allow you to vote with just a name and a card. Don't have to have a picture. So basically, that's about 16 states that really requires you to vote with real ID. Joe has spent 51 years in the DC swamp and has done nothing but got rich off America's tax dollars. That is, oh wow, segregation Joe. I couldn't. I don't know if it's just 777, but we know 777 is a good number, and so that's the name I'm gonna go with. And yeah, that's right. I mean, anybody that know it, 51 years, and it's not really a lot. I think, as 777 says, I think he has a record more for hurting black people. You'll find his signature. I mean, and when I say signature, I don't mean about, I know anybody can go and find about 2,000 things that he's voted for, insignificant things, uh, insignificant things that may have been good or may have been, but I'm talking about when it comes to things like the crime bill, you will find his signature more on the side of things that damage black households and homes, fathers and lives, and mothers and lives and children. Because if you hurt the family, if you hurt the parents, you're hurting the children. And believe it or not, you're hurting the children's children. I mean, you don't just start out and say in 85 or 86, we're going to make sure we remove about 25,000 to 100,000 black men. And then in 2025, that whole generation should be back to normal. They should be able to start from that score. No, it don't happen like that. The same way it would not happen in a Caucasian family. It doesn't happen that way. And so I always tell people, like one of the things you have to look at and consider, you're talking about 4 years. If Trump was elected again, we didn't see anything. I didn't. Just to be totally honest, I didn't myself, and I would challenge anybody to, yeah, I would challenge anybody to actually let me know, because as a African American, a black guy, and I'm not one of those people that's afraid to say I know what poor is, and so I'm still in a poor community, and so as a person in a poor community, I watched, I listened. This is what I do, and so I didn't find a lot that Trump did to make me feel like the nation had digressed. As a matter of fact, the things that he did let me know that he was willing for my culture to progress. You don't give record funding after Obama left black colleges here a little handicapped, right? After we had a black president for 8 years, the colleges, the historical black colleges. Now we have about 5,000 colleges, right? We got thousands of colleges in America. There only is 101, maybe 105. There's not over 105 historically black colleges in America. And so, yet and still, out of those 105 black colleges, I am reaching, out of those 105 black colleges, they represent over a quarter of black graduates in America. So that is a powerful thought. That is a powerful number when you're coming from something, a small percentage, almost like blacks in the prison system. And so that's not the way you want it when you have a small percentage of blacks in America with a high prison percentage. But we have a very small percentage of black colleges in America, but they produce over a quarter of the graduating black people in America. And so when a black president goes out after 8 years and the historical black colleges are still in trouble and still in need, that was not good. Trump, however, fixed that within his 4 years, within 2 years. And that is not something a racist president does. And so, like I said, I didn't see a lot that he did to make our community digress. As a matter of fact, I saw more progress. What else did I see? I saw a lot of people like me. It might be a lot of people in the feed who understood, man, Trump saying get that money. So one thing, and a lot of people hate it, but a lot of people know other people that love it, and you might love it too. Man, I saw people who was lazy get up and get a job. Get business. I saw people who wasn't even working get up and say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and open a private business. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna do this, do that. Oh, Trump bought their money. This thing wide open. A lot of people looked at Trump different ways and different reasons why they had love for him. But the thing about it is, people saw the country in a different light. And in a few tweets, is not the thing that's going to tell me that this is digress. This is a digression of things. This is bad versus what's going on in schools now. What's going on? Trump was for charter schools. That's something I know as being part of Black organizations in a Black progressive movement. That's something I know we've been fighting for a long time. That's something I know that we've fought for and we have been fighting for a long time. Still fighting for. Under the Biden administration, the grants or the permissions have stopped. There will be no more grants written under this administration. That's something he put out. That's something he almost put out immediately. There will be no more grants for charter schools written under Biden. The country is getting on track. Came from Obama. Trump rolled his back for 2 years. Yeah, he did that. I don't think, and I'm gonna just, to be totally honest, brother, Trump wasn't the only one riding his back. I had to put the charger on, sorry. To be totally honest, Trump wasn't the only one riding his back. A lot of people rode his back, including every Black progressive movement. Trust me, I know. Marching around the country. So trust me, I know. The Black Caucus also attacked. That's right. Yeah, the Black Caucus also did not support a lot of what Obama was doing, and they did their best to stick by him. They are the ones that came out and said Obama feels like all he needed to do is have black skin. We learned that from the Black Caucus, not from Trump, not from Hillary. And see, sometimes I'm just reminded that Trump is also another Republican operative. Yeah. All right. Sometimes sometimes I have to read this stuff because if I don't, I'll frown too much because you get serious when you hear the facts. The facts make you feel so serious. And so to keep my eyebrows from arching down, thinking about the treachery that's going on, thinking about how things are going, and thinking about what it means. Think about all the young lawyers. I had a friend named Life. Shout out to Life. I know Life might be actually laughing at this, but he just went to school and became a lawyer, so he might not be laughing. I mean, think of all of the people who aspire, watching the legal system. I have another young nephew. Shout out to him, TJ, studying to be a JAG. Just got out of the Air Force, and so he's studying to be a JAG. I think it's amazing, man. And I always think our children are our future, and so we have to be careful what we're giving them. This actually supports the agenda of getting the youth to hate America. Do anybody agree with that? Anybody agree with that statement? I mean, when you think about it, and I don't mean it, when I say the youth, I'm talking about acknowledgeable young men and women right now in high school. Yeah, I mean, at this point, let me see. Trump put his name on these checks to make people believe he did it. All right. You would have to actually be able to remove yourself and remove the Trump derangement and also remove yourself from the Biden stuff and say, would you want, I mean, for the young men and women watching this, maybe anywhere over age where they can understand clearly what's going on. I mean, fully understand it. I mean, this is horrible. And when you talk about how they feel as if they're trying to get young people, the young colleges, when you see what just happened on college grounds, they're trying to help some of these youth or usher them into a hating America era. Oh, that rhymed. Hating America era. I mean, where did this come from? How did this happen? And so, like, this isn't something we want our youth watching. And when they see what's happening today in New York, I think it actually helps. I think when young people, and I'm not saying myself, I think when young people, the same young people that may have supported uh, some college protests, and I'm not saying in a good or bad way, young people who get involved in the Palestine or Israel situation with one feeling or another. I'm not saying which way. I'm saying for those young people who have proven to be a ball of fire, a good ball of fire, because that was needed. You know, those because if we learned nothing, we did. Yeah. It seems to okay, pretty blazing. Yeah, college kids are wasting our money. Pretty blazing said the hating America era. She picked it up. That's real. And so if they're putting this in kids' heads and they're doing it with the right now, it's more surrounding this Israel Palestine thing. And we saw a huge thing. But for those same kids that are learning to hate America, then they turn on the TV every day and watch somebody who's supposed to be held at the highest regard as a political office holder, and at least not God, obviously, and not your pastor. This man is only elected to office, but supposedly held in high regard. And you see the offices of all of these government branches willing to do what they're doing. This is not helping those kids that have already decided they hate America. This is not helping the kids that are learning to side with other country people saying America is trying to control us. This actually supports it. It supports it, man. It supports it. Your daddy Trump, I would suggest a trade school over a. Oh, okay. So only college graduates know the truth. No, I don't think so. Um. Uh. Oh, okay. That's talking to Pretty Blazing. Oh man, y'all. Make sure y'all feed each other with good knowledge. Be kind. That's the only way to learn. You do not know what you're talking about. Hey. Oh, that's talking to. How could you not see who Trump really is? Well, I'm just assume that's to me. And the thing is, it's so easy to hit the fingers and the things, but I am actually um strong enough to actually invite you on and tell me who Trump really is. I mean, for any of the people typing this stuff in the feeds, you know, come on. Oh wow. All right, whatever. It's uh this thing is talking about inactivity. I'm not live, whatever. Maybe I said something wrong about Joe Biden. I don't know. But yeah, that connection. Yeah, maybe I said something wrong about Joe. I don't know. Anyway, it started to feed on TikTok for a second. Um, and so life goes on. I don't see how I would actually invite anybody. Uh that is so funny. That is so funny. It totally went away and said, yeah, maybe I said the wrong names. I don't know, key names, those trigger names. Um, but yeah, I would invite that young lady or that person. Let me see. Guess one. Boom. Let's get them. Where are they? Oh, yeah. 777. Hey. How you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. You're a breath of fresh air, I tell you. I just wanted to say, I feel like what our country needs is unity, and I feel like, we've had enough of this. The deep state. I mean, it's like that's right. We're being led by a uniparty, the war party of Washington, and they don't have our best interests at heart. I don't care if we're talking about George Bush, if we're talking about Bill Clinton, Obama, up until Trump, I just feel like he truly loves America. I mean, I've watched all the interviews back in the day, him and Oprah asking him if he would ever consider running for office. Right. And, he didn't want to. That's right. He's not a career politician. I mean, he never held any political office until he ran for president. That's right. Then that's when the whole world just, turned against him and via the media. The media is the biggest problem. They're the biggest problem. The biggest problem. That's 777, and man, that's an informed person, obviously. And we have to come together. That's what we need. Come together because they're continuing to keep us in our little. They divide us by race, by class, by any way they can. Religion. It's constant division, and it's our own government that's doing it. And the reason they're doing it is because if we finally realize what the real threat is, we should all be coming together. And how are we allowing 530 Washington bureaucrats to control make decisions for 300 million people? I mean, it's completely insane. I just feel like that. Trump is not a career politician. He truly loves America. He's a billionaire. Let's get real. He could have spent his retirement buying an island and living his best life. But he has done so much, and the media won't talk about it. I mean, my daughter has epilepsy. Just to see what he did in the way of, the legalization of marijuana. I mean, it has literally kept my daughter alive. Wow. I mean, it's the things he did that nobody talks about, the First Step Act, and even a step further than that. What's your well, okay, I know you don't want to use your name. I'm gonna just call you 17. Can I do that? Yeah. Somebody just made a comment and said, he has no money. Don't believe her. See, oh my God. Obviously that's not a comment worth arguing about. But one thing that I've been watching. First of all, I want to say God bless you, and I appreciate you. And this is a conversation now. And also epilepsy. I know what you're going through personally. I have someone in my life I love with epilepsy, so I know what it can be, and I know how it can get. And so I'm with you on that. It's amazing how, if you look at the timing on some of this stuff. You remember when the lady in New York had her keys ready to seize Trump properties, and she had this bail and all of this high stuff, record bail amounts, and it had to be a cash bond, trying to make Trump pay this, and taking properties. And a lot of people ran it in the media how broke he was, how this and how that. And I just continue to look at the timing of things as well. The egg on their face. His truth social thing, within probably 4 or 5 days of when he had his bail due, when he had the bond due, he got like $6 billion with the B, for that guy who said earlier that Trump did not have money. And so you can believe the repeat cycles. As the young lady said, this isn't a man that has to do it. As he said on Oprah 20, maybe some odd years ago, I don't want to run, but I will if I have to, only if the country needs it. So it's like, I agree. And also, Seven, you said something I say all the time. I say it all the time that, it's just something like when you look at this guy, it's like he doesn't have to have individual love for anybody, I know, but he has a real love and patriotism for America, like the real principles, everything. And I think most people that come, you know, it's sad to say this, but a lot of people that come by way of the same way that Trump, you find a lot of traditional Irish people, like the whole New York base, which is why it's so shocking that they hate Trump so much, is a lot of different people that came to America from different areas. And they have a different love for America and earned love. You know, different from the ones who are just coming across the border. And you can actually see this on Trump. Like this guy, when if people remember, if they want to remember, when lock her up was the best stance. I mean, it was the best statement, chant at every rally. But at some point, when Trump was almost sure, um, at some point, even Trump said, no, 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 no. We're not going to lock her up. We're going to beat her. He understood even then, I am not going to embarrass the institution of the presidency. I'm not going to embarrass our country as a president. Like the stance that he took is a stance that look nobody else is willing to take, and I don't see it's obvious that none of the Democrats would take it, and I don't think any other person would have been able to take it, because had that been me attacked like that, she would have got, you know. But he stood and said, no, we're not going to embarrass America that way. And I thought that was the real feather in his cap. And everything, as a black person in the ghetto, you know, I own my own home. I am not, I am poor, but I am not poor. I am very rich in God. I do know the things that our communities need. But I also realize that I never tell other communities what they need. I don't know what Seven needs as a mother or a woman. I can support what she tells me she needs. But one thing I will say, as my mother is a woman, the mother of my children is a woman. The administration right now is taking every small thing they can and dividing people, races, colors, religion, nationalities, heritages, everything. And when you do that, this will be much more than a 4-year thing. The things that Donald Trump are doing or will do is going to be 4 years. What Joe Biden and the administration has done is going to be a thing that's going to be in America and effective in America for decades. You want to talk about 15 new million people in the country? As much as Trump would like to, and I support him, what he's saying, but it's going to be very hard to get rid of these people who they strategically placed here.
Right.
In different, you know, right? In different parts of the country.
It's this complete insanity.
It's insanity.
In the name of election interference. It is,
yeah.
I mean, it is complete insanity. They flew 300,000 illegal immigrants from foreign prisons over here. I mean, just dumped out the Venezuelan prisons, the worst of the worst. And it's like, we're fixing to be Venezuela if we don't get it together. I mean, and that's, I think that's what this uniparty war party of Washington was. I mean, it's obvious that, I mean, if I was a black person, okay, my son is half black, I'm half Native American.
I actually see it. I'm sorry, but
no, I mean, I'm proud of my heritage, but if I was a black person in America, I would truly be super offended as to, I mean, you know, I believe that black people deserve some form of reparations, whether it is, you know, paid college, whatever they could do. I mean, you know, I know we can't give everybody our debt. The American debt is just whoa. But I mean, we need to be doing something for our people that are already here. And if I was a black American watching what they're doing as people are entering that border, just flooding through it, giving them $15,000, giving them an EBT card, a free phone, and on the phone, nobody's even talking about this, is an app where they can fly domestically for free. And I'm over here trying to buy a plane ticket for my daughter and I to go see some family. And I mean, it's insane.
It's insane.
They can buy a gun. They can buy a pew pew. And they can carry it as an illegal, you know, person in our country. And it's just it's insane.
Hold on 1 second, Seven. Hold that thought. I don't know how long you can stay with me, but please stay. Did anybody? Did
my son?
anybody?
My son is probably going to start talking to my every time I get on the phone. Here
Okay.
he comes, but
Okay.
I've got him
Did anybody? I hope everybody actually heard that. You know, that's the reality of it. If anybody's been on long enough, they heard me talk about I am a felon. I've been home, a citizen, paying taxes for 20 years without issues. But I say that to say I cannot get a gun. However, I can donate to all kind of charities around the world and pay my taxes. But I cannot get a gun, despite who's coming. Maybe gun was not the right word. Anyway, sorry, that died out. I cannot ever bear arms, despite what kind of people they're letting across the border, or what kind of violence I may face. I don't have to. I can never get a gun to so-called protect myself. However, the people across the border can come across and not have to worry about any of those things at no point in time. That is crazy. All right, I went long enough. I'm going to end this with God is good, as always, and peace out.